So let's jump into Subscription Notifier. In a nutshell, Subscription Notifier enables organizations to build out business rule-based content tracking and extends upon the notification expiration features of Oracle Web Center content. These rules are easy to build using a friendly API or UI, just like we saw in the Advanced User Security Mapping. And a part of these rules include sending email notifications to users for review, updates, and when new revisions have been checked in or when content is set to expire. Subscription Notifier is much more than just a rule-based content notification system and engine. It also has the ability to invoke side effects. So we started with it under the notification model, but customer interaction over the course of the years has evolved this product to allow us to use this feature called side effects. An example of where side effects might be used would be the ability to send items into workflow, asking users to update content, archive it, or delete it. So when you hit the subscription notification, you might get a notification that says, yes, you're about to expire, but you also want to move into the next step and move that into workflow. Some of the problems that we tend to attack from a subscription notifier perspective are around, a lot of ones we hear are around gen www, getting stuck, or items getting stuck in done during the conversion process. So this leads to help desk and admin calls and frustrated users. And so we can get notifications and engage these items through the conversion process. We've also heard and seen statistics at how fast content is growing in organizations. So as you are merging terabytes and terabytes of content throughout your organization, but the key issue in managing that content is ensuring that the most relevant information gets shared. You might be using a repository for thousands and millions of items, but every day there's new relevancy to those individuals who are managing that content and looking for the key things they need to do their job. If we look at an example of content on a website, it could be an intranet, it could be an internet site. Companies continue to be challenged with knowing what content needs to be updated and by whom. Not knowing this, the process of updating this outdated content does not get done, leading to poor site performance and adoption. And you just end up with a bunch of link farms and content that isn't relevant to my day-to-day activities. We see that companies are also struggling to provide key stakeholders with timely content that they need to do their jobs. And a lot of times the content that gets created in your organization is done so in somewhat of a vacuum, where departments are not well connected and multiple locations across your organization make it difficult to know what high-end value content there is that's being created. And we all have a million things going on, lots of things going on. I am guilty of that as well. And so without knowing that a piece of content or collateral exists or perhaps unable to find it, you'll see multiple people creating the same asset or referencing an out-of-date version. So you'll get many duplications throughout the process, and the wasted time is even difficult to comprehend. Other challenges we see people facing are not including having enough forewarning or the inability to easily track when content is close to expiring, even if you are using the expiration feature, or it needs to be updated at this time. Furthermore, organizations aren't always sure who the content owners or reviewers are for an item, so they can't really systematically put a process around how to proceed with content updates, and instead perform them in an ad hoc fashion, possibly causing inefficiencies and lost time and duplication again. Those are just some of the content problems we see that Subnoti is solving over the course of the years it's been around. So Subnoti, as a tool, has three major features. There are sub-features within each of these. They basically focus on sending emails to users on a scheduled basis. So we have an email notification engine that ensures proactive updates to the Web Center content side of things, or even your portal, help optimize any type of SEO and engagement activities you have in your organization. So if your content server is externally facing with content, or it's driving engagement internally, those email notifications help drive some of those experiences. You can select from existing mail templates or create custom templates as part of that notification process. And you can drive them based on definitions for how the type of experience the notification needs to be for, be it a new document release, like new items were checked in, items are stuck, in gen or done, and maybe items are checked out longer than X amount of days. We use that quite a bit here for our processes, as items might be checked out for several days as we get busy with customers and we have to get background on that process. The second one is with periodic reviews. You can send emails to users on a scheduled basis for items approaching a review or expiration date, defined by a system date that's already out of the box or a date you add as part of your metadata model. Items appear in what's called a document under review queue, which is accessible via the drop-down menu options of the Content Server UI. And user can choose from the following options, whether you want to take no changes are necessary, check out and revise, and approve expiration. So it's a mini periodic review process as far as handling that content. And the third segments that we deal with are data updates and synchronization. So we call them side effects, so you can perform these actions on any content matching a specified query. Some of the standard actions we have are the update metadata. I can check out and check in. I can update an external database, and I can delete revisions. And I can even resubmit the conversion process after a certain number of tries where something might be stuck in gen dub. Queries can be performed against the Content Server database or any other external database provided you have configured in your environment. I will tell you, this has been one of our most popular components over the years, and we've used it in a number of intranet site installations to help drive management of that content. So what's new in Subnoti? So we're sitting at 5.0 that was released in March 2017, and we basically simplified the subscriptions for end users. So non-administrators can now create their own subscriptions. So you can not only use some of the out-of-the-box subscription capability if you've exposed that and turned that on, but you can also drive some of these queries and get at content from a finance, a legal, even human resources department perspective. Users with restricted access can create subscriptions in a restricted view. So we have type ahead user fields. These type ahead suggestions are based on both username and full names. We have a job run history. You can resubmit for conversion side effects, which is the inbound refinery issue I talked about with gen dub.w. So the side effect will allow you to resubmit content items to inbound refinery to attempt conversion again. 3 tries, 4 tries, 5 tries, whatever makes sense in your environment. And then after that, eventually send an email to somebody to take action as your environment might be having an issue. Enforce security on a per subscription basis. So previously this was a content configuration setting, so now that's been made available on a per subscription basis. And this one is also certified under 12C and 11G as well.